Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a self-defense martial art and a competitive sport through the application of wrestling moves and lines in approaches in the ring arena. Teach and guided by one of the best judo martial masters in history, Monsieur Mada, Carlos and Helio Garces, with experiences and creativities, developed a new martial art called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Compared to other martial arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was born later but widely accepted and practiced by strong compact and powerful attacks. Technically, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is based on three basic elements: competition technique, battle technique, and self-defense technique. Firstly, the competition techniques is basic movements of close quarter combat, mainly the action of breaking wrists, elbows, locking the legs after wrestling and pressing the opponent. Secondly, the battle techniques is used in the case of wrestling tournaments, including dodging and wrestling. Lastly, self-defense techniques are tricks to defend or avoid enemy attacks without counterattacks. With years of training and competing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Kosuke Osawa is a Japanese martial art currently living and working in Hanoi. With the passion and desire to share the essence of this subject, he founded Top Brother Hanoi, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training club for Vietnamese and foreigners. Although established only a few months ago, the club attracted many students to participate, creating an ideal training environment for martial arts students who share the same passion of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You're watching Sharing Vietnam on VTC10 NetViet, and by the previous clip, you have known about a very special martial art, it is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And today in our program, let's have a conversation with a very special one who has the great passion for this martial art. Please welcome on our program, Mr. Kosuke Osawa. First of all, thank you so much for joining us in our program. How long have you practiced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and about the competition you have participated in, which one is the most memorable?
Okay, since more or less 10 years I play in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. When I was in Mexico, I started, and maybe 4 times I compete in Mexico. I also compete in Switzerland. 4 times, and also Portugal. And also once in Japan. Most memorable competition is my first competition in Mexico. When I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it was 3 months. But my teacher said, "Oh, go there." Then I compete. I didn't have not so much memory, but it was how to say, my most memorial competition.
Each martial art always has its own characteristic. So can you share with us about the special features of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when compared to others?
It's good for MMA, and also it's good to control the other people, and people has always have a balance when you stand, when you sleep, or everything. So this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to understand the mechanism of the human body. And this one is very effective to MMA and also self-defense from bad people. Benefit is you can get also power, and also stamina, and also the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you need to think about the technique and also how to fight. And benefit, I'm talking about my situation. I'm always working about in front of the computer. I'm an architect, and every day using the computer, I need to refresh my mind. And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a good thing for refresh your mind.
As far as I know, there's only top brother in Vietnam, but there are so many top brother all over the world. So can you share with us about top brother network and also the development of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Vietnam?
Now, for example, Top Brother is founded in Rio de Janeiro, and from Casqueña. He's the principal of Top Brother, and now people develop and started to play in other countries. Now also Brazil, Mexico, and America, and China, and Germany, and I started in Vietnam. Yeah. I think it's very good. There are a lot of people growing, and young people are growing the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is quite interesting. And I think Vietnam has had this. They will grow more about this culture, I guess. Yeah.
Do Vietnamese physical characteristic has any advantage or disadvantage when practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
When I fight with Vietnamese people, I think basically they have a good physical. And I think many people has a chance to use the body, so I think it's good. Yeah. Disadvantage. For example, I think disadvantage is not about the physical. Disadvantage is to stop your training. So even you have a lot of work. Maybe go to the training, just maybe a little bit, but keep the training. Yeah. This is, I think it's very important, and yes, not. I don't. It depends on the people. So I think it's not. There's no relationship with this physical and disadvantage.
The training section of Top Brother Hanoi always take place in extremely excited atmosphere. Practicing 2 days in a week, students have the opportunities to approach techniques from basic to advanced of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. These subjects requires the trainees to combine both physical strength and mental strength when applying the flexibility of the body and the acumen of strategies to knock out the opponent. Many students feel excited and feel the change of themselves after the training session at Top Brother Hanoi.
Mình tập môn này được khoảng 3 tháng rồi. Trước đây thì mình cũng có tập các cái võ khác nó cũng tương tự. Thì nói chung là mình thấy rằng là công việc của mình nó cũng áp lực ấy. Thực ra tập môn này cho mình là một là cái xả stress nó cực kỳ tốt này. Thứ hai là ở chỗ là cái việc là cho mình là tự tin hơn trong các cái công việc giao tiếp hàng ngày của mình. Công việc của mình cần phải nói nhiều, mà cần phải va chạm với nhiều đối tác, thì thành ra là cái việc mà học cái môn Jiu-Jitsu này ấy, thì tăng cho mình cái tính cạnh tranh và đồng thời là giúp cho mình là tự tin hơn trong cái việc mà nói chuyện này, trong việc đàm phán này và trong nhiều thứ khác nữa.
Despite the intense training moments, until the last moments, the class was still full of energy and concentration. Even though they are serious competitors in the ring, students and teachers Kosuke Osawa become close friends and brothers in life after class. With the dedication and enthusiasm of teacher Kosuke, the class will constantly develop in the future and have many excellent students.
As you know, the my classmate is the most of the Vietnamese style. Vietnamese, that's no border, means a borderless. The class is borderless, and so work together, and the very peaceful. The teacher Kosuke-san is the very kindly, and so the very detail teach at detail. So if the beginner come here to the training, don't worry, you can do.
Students at the club always admire Master Kosuke Osawa because of his experience in training, competition, and extremely close and easy to understand communication. He always cares about the students, corrects their techniques, help students to change and improve clearly. With a friendly, open training atmosphere, Tao Brother Hanoi not only has a strong attraction for Vietnamese people, but it is also an ideal martial art training environment for foreigners. Brazilian martial art have broken the geographical, linguistic, and cultural barriers to have people get closer together so that they can all live in the same martial art spirit. Can you share with us about the motivation to establish Tao Brother Hanoi, and do you face with any difficulties at the beginning?
I want the first things I like. I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I got a lot of benefit from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, mental and discipline, and refresh your mind, and this one I want to share with another people. So that's why I started to open my school. I think everything difficult, but I don't feel it's difficult. Just a kind of a step. If I don't know, it's just try to be better. If there's a lot of difficult things, but I try to solve step by step. Yeah.
Who can take part in and practice in Tao Brother Hanoi, and in one lesson, what they can experience and gain?
The target is actually it's better to start it kids, because if the kids started earlier, the kids has a good level. But also my target is to, like my situation, always using the computer in front of in the office, and always using the smartphone. This is a strong good point about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like today, there are young people, also they are middle-aged student, and we don't have attack, the punch, the smash. So it's just a movement and a technique. So it's good to do for every kind of age. The first we started warm up. Warm up is very important, and the next is drill. And the drill also part of the warm up, but it's more intense. So to understand the movement also. After that we do technique. Technique, maybe we do three techniques. Even one technique is okay, but maybe do 3 techniques. After that we do sparring, and sparring try to be calm, because we are not in the competition. So then we close the training.
Can you share with us about the plan to develop and expand Tao Brother Hanoi in the near future?
The goal to create, I would like to create a kind of how to say, third place. Not only office, not only house. It's a kind of the kind of team. To enjoy together, to enjoy together, to develop together.
Thank you for your sharing. And the conversation with Mr. Kosuke is also the end of our program today. Thank you so much for your attention, and see you next time.